love the Nigerian Air Force. Since 1964, you have heard our story. From a humble beginning and by sheer determination and grit, we have over the years continued to wax strong and become one of the most formidable air forces on the African continent. You are aware of our modest role in the Nigerian Civil War, our contributions to past and ongoing internal security operations, peacekeeping and humanitarian operations in the Gambia, Mozambique, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Mali, and Guinea-Bissau. You think you understand why we have been so successful? Let me tell you a secret. The key to our success story is not only because of our aircraft and weapon systems. It is our dedicated team of airmen and airwomen and the immeasurable support we receive from all Nigerians. Our spirit, our passion, our love for country. We are an Air Force of the Nigerian people. Hausas, Igbos, Yorubas, Ijos, Thieves, Nupes, Biroms, Ibibios, Muslims, Christians, all Nigerians. We are defending our homes. We are protecting our mothers, our fathers, our sisters, our brothers, our neighbors, our friends. For us, no place is too far. No mission is too complicated. We always get the job done. When our commissioned and enlisted
very senior officers,
take the oath of
distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen,
if need be,
I am requested to kindly inform all senior officers of air rank and other very senior officers to please form up in line in front of the VIP pavilion to bid the retired senior officers a farewell as they fly out. Thank you, sir.
Our founding fathers who started with nothing and built a powerful Nigerian Air Force that is feared by its enemies and respected by its peers. We are proud to serve and protect all Nigerians. We are proud to provide security to all Nigerians and confident that our best days are ahead of us. One thing is also certain. We shall win the war, and good will soon prevail over evil. Together with sister services and other security agencies, we remain focused, determined, and unrelenting in our quest for victory. We are the Nigerian Air Force, and we remain ever willing, able, and ready.
While the crew of the T-129 attack helicopter is preparing for a breathtaking sequence of maneuver, permit me to acquaint you with the dynamic crew behind the T-129s. In the rear cockpit, we have Wing Commander Kabir Usman, and in the front cockpit is Squadron Leader Ijaduana Takir. Oh, you would agree with me that the T-129's entry, if it were a movie, it would be the blockbuster of the year. A round of applause for this amazing crew piloting this magnificent machine. Any moment from now, as you can see, the helicopter is lifting up into a graceful over. Watch closely as it executes spot stunts. This phase of the maneuver is to provide Your Excellency and a highly esteemed guest with optimal view of its aerodynamic design and maneuverability. And I bet you that today and not tomorrow, you would witness firsthand the agility and precision of the T-129 attack helicopter. Be advised that this is not just your average helicopter. It's a versatile mistral. Like someone once said, the T-129 is like a superhero by day and a crowd-fighting, terror-busting machine by night. Now to the highlights of today's display. The aircraft is taken to the skies, showcasing its aerobatic prowess. Brace yourselves for a series of thrilling maneuvers that underscore the helicopter's versatility and advanced capabilities. From wing overs to chandels to nosedives, as you can see, the T-129 is set to give you a treat. Now it's becoming scary. The helicopter would be executing a
Very senior officers, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Looking at your 12 o'clock, the C-130 aircraft that is carrying the retired senior officers flying out from the parade ground. At the moment, we are bidding them farewell. Thank you. That marks the end of the flying out parade. Any moment from now, the second segment of the Nigerian Air Force 60th anniversary parade will commence. May I request our distinguished guests to please take their seats as we expect the arrival of the Chief of the Air Staff and other dignitaries into the arena for the continuation of the program. Thank you. Very senior officers, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Any moment from now, we expect the arrival of the special guest of honor for the Nigerian Air Force 60th anniversary parade. On this note, I am kindly directed to inform all the senior officers to please take their seats and settle down. Thank you.
In Africa's vast landscape, where the sun radiates ceaselessly, the Nigerian Air Force stands conspicuously, safeguarding
Our
the
distinguished
Nigerian
invited
skies.
guests, ladies and gentlemen, moments from now, the commencement of the 60th anniversary of the Nigerian Air Force Day Celebration Parade will commence. Our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, what you are witnessing are the right-hand markers proceeding to take their various positions on the parade before the arrival of the main body. For the right-hand markers, we have Flight Sergeant Bulos for number 1 guard, Flight Sergeant Emmanuel M for number 2 guard, Flight Sergeant Garba SA for the number 3 guard. Flight Sergeant Mbanugu JC is for the number 4 guard. Flight Sergeant Ajibola AJ is for the number 5 guard. And for the 6th guard is Flight Sergeant John M.
Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, as the name implies, the right-hand markers will mark the position where the guards will occupy on the parade ground. The arrival on parade ground will pave way for the marching of the main body into the parade ground by the parade conducting warrant officer, Master Warrant Officer Bako I. Very senior officers, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, with the right-hand markers now in their position. Any moment from now, we expect the parade conducting warrant officer, Master Warrant Officer Bako I, to march on the main body of the parade. Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, at the moment the parade conducting warrant officer, Master Warrant Officer Bako I, is marching the main body comprising of 6 guards into the parade ground. Subsequently, they will occupy the position marked by their right-hand markers.
Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, the parade conducting warrant officer, Master Warrant Officer Bako I, just marched on the main body and is now dressing the main body for the ceremonial parade. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the parade conducting warrant officer, having done with the dressing of the main body, now awaits the arrival of the parade second in command. Our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, what you are witnessing are the guard and the sub-guard commanders arriving to take over in preparation for the ceremonial parade.
Very senior officers, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Any moment from now, the parade conducting warrant officer, master warrant officer back OI, will march forward to submit the parade state to the parade second in command, and thereafter hand over the parade to him. At the moment, the parade conduction warrant officer, master warrant officer back OI, has just submitted the parade to the parade second in command and marching forward, proceeding to his position behind the color party.
Our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are already witnessing the arrival of our distinguished guests and foreign diplomats for this event. You are most welcome.
At the moment, the parade second in command, Flight Lieutenant E.I. Adekule, is marching forward to take his position at the parade ground. With the parade second in command now in charge of the parade, it shall be his responsibility to fall in the officers. very senior officers, distinguished invited guests, gentlemen, as we expect the arrival of the special guest of honor for the Nigerian Air Force 60th anniversary parade, any moment from now, the parade commander will take over the parade from the parade second in command. May I request our distinguished guests to please settle down and have their seats while we expect the arrival of the special guest of honor any moment from now. Thank you. The parade commander will take over the parade from the parade 2IC any moment from now. What we're witnessing at the moment is the parade second in command, Flight Lieutenant E.A. Adekule, marching forward to submit the parade to the parade commander, Squadron Leader V.C. Njoku. Any moment from now, we expect the parade commander to march on the colors on parade ground. Any moment from now, the special guest of honor will arrive at the venue, accompanied with the Chief of the Air Staff, Chief of Defense Staff, and other dignitaries.
May I humbly request our distinguished guests to please take your various seats. Thank you.
Any moment from now, we expect the parade commander to march forward, take his position, and march on the colors on parade.
May I humbly request our distinguished guests, please take your various seats in preparation for the arrival of the special guest of honor moments from now. Please take your seats. Our distinguished guests, you are please requested to have your individual seats. Thank you.
Any moment from now, the color will be marched on parade ground. May I request our senior officers, and master officers in uniform to please rise and salute as a mark of respect. Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, as the colors march on parade, please may we rise up as a mark of respect. Officers and warrant officers in uniform are expected to salute. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I announce the arrival of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Abiodun Labaja, the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, and the Inspector General of Police. You're all welcome, sir.
With the arrival of the color on parade and the arrival of the Chief of the Air Staff and Service Chiefs, we expect the Chief of the Air Staff and the Service Chiefs to proceed to the parade, to the saluting dais for the general salute. That's it, the general salute heralded the arrival of the Chief of the Air Staff with the Chief Host and the Service Chiefs. May I also recognize the presence of Senator Ahmed Ailawa, GCON, President of the 9th Senate, and presently Chairman Senate Committee on Defense. You are welcome, sir. While we still await for the arrival of other distinguished invited guests, may I request the band to please give us some music. The band, please. May I at this juncture also recognize the presence of the Honorable Minister of Defense State, Honorable Bello Matawale. You are welcome. The Chief of the Service Chiefs, Inspector General of Police, very senior officers, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, announcing the arrival of the Honorable Minister of Defense, Honorable Mohammed Badr Abubakar, Commander of the Order of the Niger, member of the National Institute. You are warmly welcome, sir. We expect the Honorable Minister of Defense, Honorable Mohammed Badr Abubakar, to please proceed to the saluting dais for ministerial salute. That was the ministerial salute to herald the arrival of the Honorable Minister of Defense. You are warmly welcome, sir.
Our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, moments from now, we expect the arrival of the special guest of honor for today's event to grace the occasion.
Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, from all indication, the moment we have been waiting for is here now.
Honorable Minister of Defense, Service Chiefs, our distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've been waiting for. I have the singular honor and privilege of announcing the arrival of the special guest of honor for today's occasion, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Ahmad Bola Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, ably represented by the Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Kashim Shettima, Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger.
The special guest of honor, sir. The arrival of the special guest of honor into the arena will automatically signal the official commencement of the Nigerian Air Force 6 years anniversary parade. At the moment, we can see the vehicle conveying the special guest of honor is proceeding toward the VIP pavilion. The special guest of honor will be heralded and welcomed by the chief host, the chief of the air staff, Air Marshal Hassan Bala Abubakar, as well as the chairman organizing committee, Nigerian Air Force 60th Anniversary Parade. We expect the special guest of honor after the normal presentaries to proceed to the saluting dice for the official commencement of the program.
Our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, announcing the arrival of the special guest of honor for today's occasion, ably represented by the Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Kashim Shettima, Grand Commander Order of the Niger. Your Excellency, you are warmly welcome, sir.
Moment we can see the special guest of honor is being accompanied by the Chief of the Air Staff with the chief host for this Nigerian Air Force 60th Anniversary Parade, as well as the chairman organizing committee to the saluting dice where the special guest of honor will receive the national salute.
May I please request we all rise for the national anthem. All officers and warrant officers in uniform are please requested to salute. Thank you. Our distinguished guests, you may please be seated. Thank you. The special guest of honor, sir. At the moment, the parade commander, Squadron Leader V.C. Njoku, is now marching forward to submit the parade stage to the special guest of honor, and we subsequently invite the special guest of honor to inspect the parade. our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the special guest of honor, accompanied by the chairman organizing committee and the parade commander, will proceed to inspect the parade.
The special guest of honor, sir, very senior officers, members of the diplomatic corps, ladies and gentlemen, as the Nigerian Air Force is celebrating its 6th decade of its existence, this celebration will not be complete without acquainting our distinguished audience with an evolution and on-abasis of this formidable force. From its inception to its status as a key component of Nigeria's defense apparatus, Nigerian Air Force has undergone significant transformation, evolving into a formidable force both domestically and internationally. The Nigerian Air Force journey traces back to its establishment on April 18, 1964, with the primary objective of safeguarding Nigeria's airspace and defending its territorial integrity. This year's anniversary is special, peculiar, and dedicated to recounting the gains of establishing the Nigerian Air Force in 1964. Consequently, it is highly imperative to highlight some of the most important moments in the history of the Nigerian Air Force, from the time it first signed an agreement with the German Air Force Assistant Group to the present. In its nascent stages, Nigerian Air Force faced numerous challenges, including limited resources and infrastructure. However, with unwavering dedication and strategic vision, it gradually expanded its capabilities, incorporating modern aircraft, advanced training programs, and cutting-edge technology. The Nigerian Air Force saw several significant events, including the creation of new units in Kano, Ikeja, Calabar, Port Harcourt, Makurdi, and Enugu. These units were assigned for offensive air defense and reconnaissance duties in order to aid the prosecution of the Nigerian Civil War. Operational bases were also established in Makurdi and Kainji shortly after the Civil War. Throughout the early 1980s and 1990s, the Nigerian Air Force actively participated in a number of international peacekeeping missions as well as domestic security initiatives, further enhancing its respected standing in the international community. This era is often hailed as the golden years of the Nigerian Air Force due to its peak in professional development. From the early 1990s to 2000, the Nigerian Air Force took on a new role as a force for peace on the African continent. From Liberia to Sierra Leone, the Nigerian Air Force played a crucial part in the regional stability and conflict resolution.
The Minister of Defense, sir, service chiefs, very senior officers, our distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. As the special guest of honor inspects the parade, I would like to inform you that there are 6 guards on parade this morning. These are numbers 1 guard, number 2 guard, number 3 guard, number 4 guard, number 5 guard, as well as the number 6 guard. The color party is in between number 3 and number 4 guards. Providing the music for today's Nigerian Air Force 60th Anniversary Ceremonial Parade is the Nigerian Air Force Band. The band is positioned at the rear of the color party and is conducted by the Assistant Director of Music, Headquarters Nigerian Air Force, Abuja, as well as the Acting Dean School of Music, Nigerian Air Force Institute of Administrative Management, Squadron Leader A.A. Oludude, and assisted by Flying Officer J.O. Akebu, the Acting Head of Department, School of Music, Nigerian Air Force Institute of Administrative Management. For the band, we have 88 regimental bansmen, and they add glamour and color to today's ceremony, and they are made up of 77 male and 10 female personnel of the Nigerian Air Force, respectively. Please permit me to acquaint you with the various guards' orientation. Number 1 guard is commanded by Flight Lieutenant E.I. Adekunle and assisted by the Right Sub-Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant O.O. Basi, Left Sub-Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant H.H. Gidado, and the Guard Squadron Sergeant Major, Flight Sergeant Abubakar K.M. Number 2 guard is commanded by Flight Lieutenant A.O. Adenichi and assisted by the Right Sub-Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant O.B. Olalusi, Left Sub-Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant V.U. Iyoku, and the Guard Squadron Sergeant Major, Flight Sergeant Ilasami J.S. We have the number 3 guard, and is commanded by Flight Lieutenant O.S. Oguntade and assisted by the Right Sub-Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant J. Jumare, Left Sub-Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant A.A. Kabiru, and the Guard Squadron Sergeant Major, Flight Sergeant Akinsola N.A. Next is the color party. Ensign to the national color is Flight Lieutenant H.Y. Dogo. Ensign to the Air Force color, Flight Lieutenant J. Michael. Ensign to the Tactical Air Command color, Flight Lieutenant J.N. Iboneme. Ensign to the Special Operations Command color, Flight Lieutenant N.O. Yahaya. Ensign to the Mobility Command color, Flight Lieutenant K.O. Eze. Ensign to the Air Trading Command color, Flight Lieutenant Jinwo Kolo. Ensign to the Ground Trading Command color, Flight Lieutenant C.A. Ikabo. And ensign to the Logistics Command color, Flight Lieutenant J.A. Adebanjo. Also on the color party is the color party Regimental Sergeant Major, Master Warrant Officer Bako I. Number 4 guard is commanded by Flight Lieutenant O.S. Alabi and assisted by the Right Sub Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant V.I. Fayewu, Left Sub Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant A.S. Suleiman, and the Guard Squadron Sergeant Major, Flight Sergeant Edibo D.O. For number 5 guard is commanded by Flight Lieutenant O.D. Ofuafo and assisted by the Right Sub Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant G.M. Diachi, Left Sub Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant G.O.A. Ezabo, and the Guard Squadron Sergeant Major, Flight Sergeant Natim J.N. Number 6 guard, which is the last guard, is commanded by Flight Lieutenant D.A. Aluku and assisted by the Right Sub Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant O.P. Posomo, Left Sub Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant D. Ida Chaba, and the Guard Squadron Sergeant Major, Flight Sergeant Ashafa M.
From the early 2000s to date, the Nigerian Air Force has continued to witness massive progress and growth in different areas of operations. Under the leadership of various administration, Nigerian Air Force has witnessed notable milestones, including participation in peacekeeping missions, humanitarian operations, and counter-insurgency efforts. Each chapter of its history reflects the resilience, professionalism, and commitment of its personnel in fulfilling their mandate to protect the nation and its citizens. In recent years, Nigerian Air Force has experienced a transformative period under different administration, marked by a renewed emphasis on capacity building, innovation, and collaboration. Through strategic partnerships with allied nations and investment in indigenous defense industries, Nigerian Air Force has enhanced its operational readiness and technological prowess.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, for the escorts to the color, we have Flight Sergeant John T. N., Flight Sergeant Sabosoro SS, Flight Sergeant Bulos J, Flight Sergeant Yahaya KB, Flight Sergeant Omune PC, Flight Sergeant Peter PW, Flight Sergeant Abdullahi Z, Flight Sergeant Godwin AA, Flight Sergeant Ahmad A, Flight Sergeant Emmanuel AD, Flight Sergeant Daniel I, Flight Sergeant Ameyeme PC, Flight Sergeant Uzoka OF, Flight Sergeant Efyon SE, and Flight Sergeant Abion PE.
The special guest of honor, sir. In Nigerian Air Force, leadership is seen as continuum and to build on the successes of previous predecessors. Upon assumption of office as the 22nd Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Bala Abubakar, distinguished flying staff, has environed to transform the Nigerian Air Force into an agile and resilient force that effectively meets the air power demands of national security in all operational environments. The strategies for achieving this of the Chief of the Air Staff command philosophy include optimizing force structure and establishment of enhanced operational effectiveness, deliberate training and mission-oriented force development, and proactive logistics support and strong maintenance culture. Others include prioritizing research and development, leveraging cutting-edge technology, strategic partnerships and lessons learned, and maintaining a highly motivated force by enhancing welfare and infrastructural renewal. In line with the policy of deliberate training and mission-oriented force development, which is the second key enabler of the Chief of the Air Staff Command philosophy, a total of 36 personnel has been programmed for training in 5 batches in Turkey in different air and ground specialties to ensure optimal employment of the T-126 attack combat helicopter in battle. 4 pilots that were also scheduled for the Flight Safety International at Tampa, Florida, United States Captaincy Initial Pilot Training for the King Air 360 aircraft have now finished the program, returned since November 2023, and had been deployed to various operational theaters. As part of the Chief of the Air Staff desire to prioritize research and development leveraging cutting-edge technology, strategic partnerships and lessons learned, Air Marshal Abubakar participated in the just concluded annual African Airship Symposium held at Tunis, Tunisia. The event afforded him an opportunity to share ideas as well as interrogate new strategies that may tally with the Nigerian Air Force ongoing counter-insurgency and counter-terrorism efforts in a joint operating environment. In another development, the Nigerian Air Force have solidified its collaboration with the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, NAMA, with a view at safeguarding the Nigerian airspace.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the special guest of honor has just concluded inspection of the parade and is now returning to the saluting dais.
The special guest of honor is returning to the saluting dais. We expect the parade commander to obtain permission from the special guest of honor in continuation of the rest of the parade.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the parade commander, Squadron Leader V.C. Njoku, just obtained permission from the special guest of honor to proceed with the rest of the parade. The special guest of honor, sir. Moments from now, the parade will reform from 3 ranks to 2 ranks for the commencement of the parade to march past in slow and quick time. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the parade has commenced for the slow and quick time. May I please remind this distinguished audience that as the march past has commenced already, please, as the color march towards the location where you are seated, you are all please requested to rise as a mark of respect. Serving officers and warrant officers in uniform are please requested to salute. Thank you.
The special guest of honor, sir, service chiefs, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. One of the defining features of the Nigerian Air Force evolution has been its adaptation to contemporary security challenges, particularly in combating insurgency, terrorism, and other asymmetric threats. With a proactive approach to intelligence gathering, precision airstrikes, and joint operations, Nigerian Air Force has played a pivotal role in ensuring national security and stability. Furthermore, Nigerian Air Force commitment to human capital development has been instrumental in nurturing a highly skilled and motivated workforce by prioritizing training, career advancement, and welfare initiatives. Nigerian Air Force continued to attract and retain the best talents, ensuring its readiness to confront emerging threats in an ever-changing global security landscape. As we mark the 60th anniversary of the Nigerian Air Force, it is with profound gratitude and pride that we reflect on our journey of service, sacrifice, and achievement. For 6 decades, the Nigerian Air Force has been at the forefront of defending our nation's sovereignty, protecting our citizens, and projecting air power with unmatched professionalism and dedication. This milestone anniversary is a testament to the unwavering commitment and sacrifices of generations of airmen and airwomen who have served with valor and distinction. Their bravery, resilience, and unwavering dedication to duty have been the bedrock of our Air Force's success and have earned the respect and admiration of our nation and the world. At this juncture, the Nigerian Air Force, on behalf of the officers, airmen, airwomen, and civilian staff, wish to extend its profound gratitude to the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for his unwavering support, through which the Nigerian Air Force has achieved its current level of operational effectiveness across the country in the last 10 months. Under Mr. President's able leadership, the federal government has, since June 2023, acquired 2 Augusta 109 Tracker multi-role helicopters, 2 Beechcraft King Air 360, 3 Diamond DA-62 surveillance aircraft, and 6 T-129 attack helicopters. Additionally, 2 T-129 attack helicopters named as NAF 500 and NAF 501 and King Air 360 as NAF 205 have been acquired.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to acquaint us with the various guards orientation for the march pass. Number 1 guard is commanded by Flight Lieutenant E.I. Adekunle and assisted by the Right Sub-Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant O.O. Basi, Left Sub-Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant H.H. Gidado, and the Guard Squadron Sergeant Major, Flight Sergeant Abubakar K.M. Closely behind the number 1 guard is the number 2 guard. It's commanded by Flight Lieutenant A.O. Adeniji and assisted by the Right Sub-Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant Obi Olalusi, Left Sub-Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant V.E. Iyoko, and the Guard Squadron Sergeant Major, Flight Sergeant Elasami J.S. Next is the number 3 guard. Number 3 guard is commanded by Flight Lieutenant O.S. Oguntade and assisted by the Right Sub-Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant J. Jumare, Left Sub-Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant A.A. Kabiru, and the Guard Squadron Sergeant Major, Flight Sergeant Akinsola N.A. Right behind the number 3 guard is the color party. Ensign to the national color is Flight Lieutenant H.Y. Dogo, Ensign to the Air Force color, Flight Lieutenant J. Michael, Ensign to the Tactical Air Command color, Flight Lieutenant J.N. Iboneme, Ensign to the Special Operations Command color, Flight Lieutenant N.O. Yahaya, Ensign to the Mobility Command color, Flight Lieutenant K.O. Eze, Ensign to the Air Training Command color, Flight Lieutenant G. Nwokolo, Ensign to the Ground Training Command color, Flight Lieutenant C.A. Ikabo, Ensign to the Logistics Command color, Flight Lieutenant J.A. Adebanjo. For the escorts, we have Flight Flight Sergeant T.N. John, Flight Sergeant Tabosoro S.S., Flight Sergeant Bulos J., Flight Sergeant Yahaya KB, Flight Sergeant Owen P.C., Flight Sergeant Peter P.W., Flight Sergeant Abdullahi Z., Flight Sergeant Godwin A.A., Flight Sergeant Ahmad A., Flight Sergeant Emmanuel A.D., Flight Sergeant Daniel I., Flight Sergeant Amaye P.C., Flight Sergeant Uzoka O.F., Flight Sergeant Effion S.E., and Flight Sergeant Abion P.E. And the Color Party Regimental Sergeant Major is Master Warrant Officer Bako I. Number 4 guard is commanded by Flight Lieutenant O.S. Alabi and assisted by the Right Sub Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant V.I. Fayewu, Left Sub Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant A.S. Suleiman, and the Guard Squadron Sergeant Major, Flight Sergeant Edibo D.O. Immediately after the number 4 guard is the number 5 guard. It's commanded by Flight Lieutenant O.F. Ofuafo and assisted by the Right Sub Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant G.M. Diachi, Left Sub Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant G.O. Ezabo, and the Guard Squadron Sergeant Major, Flight Sergeant Nathan J.N. For the number 6 guard, which is his last guard, is commanded by Flight Lieutenant D.A. Aluku and assisted by the Right Sub Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant O.P. Bosomo, Left Sub Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant D. Ida Chaba, and the Guard Squadron Sergeant Major, Flight Sergeant Ashafa M.
The special guest of honor, sir. Today is a very memorable day as the Nigerian Air Force celebrates its 6 decades of existence. The Nigerian Air Force wish to appreciate all relevant parties for their assistance in helping the Nigerian Air Force achieve its current level of success. The Nigerian Air Force is committed in safeguarding the nation's airspace as well as maintaining peace and serenity across the board. As our motto goes, the Nigerian Air Force is always willing, able, and ready. The special guest of honor, sir, service chiefs, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. The parade you are watching is the Nigerian Air Force 6 years anniversary ceremonial parade. One of the activities marked to entertain you. Any moment from now, we'll witness the parade transit from slow to quick time. The special guests of honor, sir, Your Excellencies, service chiefs, very senior officers, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, the parade has just changed into quick time. This is done in fast pace, accompanied by the swinging of hands. Let me once again kindly remind this distinguished audience that as the Colors March was the location where you are seated, you are please requested to rise as a mark of respect. Serving officers and warrant officers in uniform are please requested to salute. Thank you. Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, leading the rest of the parade is the parade commander, Squadron Leader VC Njoku. On the parade today, we have 6 guards. Being led by the number 1 guard. The number 1 guard is commanded by Flight Lieutenant E.I. Adekule and assisted by the Right of Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant O.O. Basi, and the Left of Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant H.H. Gidado, and the Guard Squadron Sergeant Major Flight Sergeant Abubakar K.M. Now approaching the saluting dais is the 2 guard, commanded by Flight Lieutenant A.O. Adeniji and assisted by the Right of Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant Obi Olalusi, and the Left of Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant V.U. Iko, and the Guard Squadron Sergeant Major Flight Sergeant Ilesemi J.S. At the saluting dais now in the 3 guard, commanded by Flight Lieutenant O.S. Oguntade and assisted by the Right of Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant J. Jumari, and the Left of Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant A.E. Kabiru, and the Guard Squadron Sergeant Major Flight Sergeant Akinsola S.A. The color party is comprised of the ensign to the national color, Flight Lieutenant H.Y. Dogo, ensign to Air Force color, Flight Lieutenant J. Michael, ensign to Air Command color, Flight Lieutenant J.N. Iboneme, ensign to Special Operations Command color, Flight Lieutenant N.O. Yahya, ensign to Mobility Command color, Flight Lieutenant K.O. Eze, ensign to Air Training Command color, Flight Lieutenant G. Nwokolo, ensign to Ground Training Command color, Flight Lieutenant C.A. Ikobo, and ensign to Logistics Command color, Flight Lieutenant J. Adebanjo. We also have the number 4 guard, commanded by Flight Lieutenant O.S. Alabi, and assisted by the Right of Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant V.I. Fayoun, and the Left of Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant A.S. Suleiman. The Guard Squadron Sergeant Major, Flight Sergeant Edipo Dio. We have the 5 guard, commanded by Flight Lieutenant O.D. Ofuafu, and assisted by the Right of Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant G.M. Diaji, and the Left of Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant Gio Ozebo, and the Guard Squadron Sergeant Major, Flight Sergeant Nantim J.M. The number 6 guard is commanded by Flight Lieutenant D.A. Aluku and assisted by the Right of Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant Obi Bosomo, and the Left of Guard Commander, Flight Lieutenant D. Idachama, and the Guard Squadron Sergeant Major, Flight Sergeant Ashafa M. The special guest of honor, sir, Your Excellency's Service Chief, very senior officer, ladies and gentlemen, you will agree with me that a high level of discipline is required to maintain perfect dressing and correct steps during march past in quick time, as these young officers and men are performing right now.
Our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the parade is one of the packages lined up for your entertainment this morning. It also demonstrates the dynamism of the Nigerian Air Force as an organization, as well as a fighting force. Our distinguished audience, shall we please appreciate the team of drill instructors under the guidance and command of Wing Commander M.O. Umar, who is the subcommittee chairman for the Nigerian Air Force Assisted Parade and Flying Out Ceremony, that groomed these officers and men of the Nigerian Air Force towards this particular performance with a round of applause. May we please give another round of applause for the officers and men of the Nigerian Air Force for that spectacular display. Thank you. the special guest of honor, sir, service chiefs, our distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Next on the program is the flight pass display. May I now hand over the microphone to Squadron Leader I.J. Dozier and Flight Lieutenant O.O.O.K. to anchor the session. Squadron Leader Dozier, please.
Thank you very much, Ma. A special guest of honor, sir, Your Excellencies, distinguished invited guests, I welcome you all to the area display segment in commemoration of the Nigerian Air Force Day, year 2024. I am Squadron Leader Ifeanyi Jude Nwedozie, your anchor for this segment. I shall be assisted by Flight Lieutenant Oluwadamilola Olayinka Oke. 8 aircraft types from the Nigerian Air Force inventory are performing in today's area display. The 8 aircraft performing will be in the following order: T-129 attack helicopter with call sign Scorpion, Super Mushak with call sign Shark, Diamond 40 62 aircraft, A-29 Super Tucano with call sign Phantom, L-39ZA with call sign Cobra, the Alpha Jet with call sign Aggressor, the F-7 with call sign Tiger, and the JF-17 with call sign Thunder. For an optimal viewing experience, I shall briefly acquaint you with the clock ray method, which I shall be using to describe the position of the aircraft overhead. So we assume that the clock has been superimposed on the arena such that the area ahead of the saluting dice is the 12 o'clock position, while the left-hand side is the 9 o'clock position, and the right-hand side is the 3 o'clock position. The special guest of honor, sir, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, please cast your attention to the 1 o'clock position of the arena, from where the first aircraft will be approaching for the fly pass and display. Subsequent aircraft will approach the arena from the 11 to 12 o'clock for their fly pass and display. The first aircraft for today's display is the Turkish 129 attack helicopter. The Turkish 129 attack helicopter, recently acquired by the Nigerian Air Force and delivered in November 2023, was inducted in the Nigerian Air Force operations in February of 2024. May I crave the indulgence of the guest of honor, sir, and our distinguished invited guests to look to the 1 o'clock position of the arena as the Scorpion will now commence with a towering takeoff. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for that beautiful display by the Scorpion. This towering takeoff allows the Scorpion to climb quickly to be clear of high obstacles. What a beautiful display there by the Scorpion. The Scorpion will now initiate a 70-degree nosedive. Right now, the Scorpion is conducting a 70-degree nosedive. A round of applause for the Scorpion. This dive is 70-degree nose down altitude, which helps the Scorpion to build speed. What you just saw was a 70-degree nose dive, which is also the attack profile of the Scorpion. The crew is now conducting steep turns. This is the second steep turn by the Scorpion. A round of applause for the Scorpion. These steep turns are done to show the level of agility of the Scorpion. The crew is now setting up for a wing over. As part of its defense system, it incorporates survivability equipment, including countermeasure dispensing systems, missile warning systems, and more. With a proven track record, the T-129 attack helicopter attests to its combat efficiency and reliability in real-world scenarios. Ladies and gentlemen, if you cast your attention to the 12 o'clock low position, you will acquire the Scorpion as they set up for a wing over. The wing over implies that the aircraft will fly very low to the ground at high speed, as you can see. Round of applause for the Scorpion. first wing over is now completed, and the Scorpion will now set up for a second wing over. This allows the helicopter to turn around very quickly to attack a target or evade adversary's fire. This maneuver is usually employed to surprise the adversary while leaving them with little or no time to respond. Ladies and gentlemen, the fleet currently has 4 pioneer crew, and they are Wing Commander M.K. Usman, call sign Knight, Wing Commander K.S. Wagba, call sign Sparta, and Squadron Leader T.S. Sarki, call sign Dragon. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the hover out of ground effect by the Scorpion. This maneuver allows it to remain stationary, as you can see, at a reasonable height above the ground, a maneuver that distinguishes the helicopter from other aircraft. Shortly after the hover, the Scorpion will adopt a steep down attitude, as we saw, in salutation of our esteemed guest of honor to signify the end of the display. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Scorpion as they exit the arena. What a wonderful display there. Ladies and gentlemen, if you cast your attention to the 12 o'clock high position, you will acquire the Super Mushak, which is the next aircraft for today's display. The Super Mushak aircraft, nicknamed Shark, is a 2-seat side-by-side trainer aircraft with a Lycoming piston engine. The aircraft was manufactured by Pakistan Aeronautical Complex and was inducted into the Nigerian Air Force in 14 January 2018. The single ship SMK, call sign the Shark, is being flown today by Flight Lieutenant KT Alao, call sign Aquaman, and Flight Lieutenant AM Bello, call sign Ghost, while Flight Lieutenant M.I. Aborime is a safety representative and the reserve crew. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a beautiful display there by the Shark. What you saw was an aileron roll, and the Sharks are now transitioning for a 60-degree steep turn. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Shark. The crew will have a combined total flying hours of over 4,500 hours with over 700 on type. Ladies and gentlemen, the Shark is now performing a wing rock. Please put your hands together for the Shark as they conduct the wing rock in salutation of the special guest of honor. The next aircraft for display is the Diamond Formation, which comprises of 2 Diamond 40 and 1 Diamond 62 aircraft. Ladies and gentlemen, please cast your attention to your 11 o'clock load to acquire the formation aircraft. The Diamond Formation is a formation of 3 ship aircraft comprising of 1 Diamond 62 aircraft as lead and 2 Diamond 40 aircraft as wing aircraft. In the lead aircraft, we have Flight Lieutenant Achibong, call sign Achis, and Flying Officer Raji, call sign Ninja. While the number 2 aircraft is being flown by Squadron Leader UP Tony Cheta, call sign Dobri, and Flight Lieutenant OS Ijelu, call sign Woman of War. While the number 3 aircraft is flown by Squadron Leader Gwandu, call sign Jigwans. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for that beautiful display by the Diamonds. The crew have a combined total flying hours of over 10,000 flying hours with over 3,000 flying hours on the Diamond aircraft. The Diamond 40 is an Austrian 4-seat single-engine light attack aircraft constructed from composite materials, while the Diamond 62 special mission aircraft, nicknamed Grey Raptor, is a variant of the Diamond 62 multipurpose platform aircraft powered by 2 piston engines. Ladies and gentlemen, please cast your attention to the 1 o'clock position to acquire the Diamond Formation as they conduct a 360-degree turn. Ladies and gentlemen, it is worthy to state that the Diamond 40 aircraft is used for conducting training for ab initio pilot course, basic transport flying course, and unmanned area vehicle operators course in the Nigerian Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please cast your attention to your 11 o'clock position to acquire the diamond formation, as they are now setting up to fly past the arena to exit this display area. The aircraft's home base is the 401 Flying Training School, Kaduna, also known as the starting point. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the diamond formation as they exit this arena. Beautiful display here. Ladies and gentlemen, the next aircraft to be displayed is the Phantom Formation aircraft, which consists of 3 Super Tucano aircraft. Please cast your attention to your 11 o'clock position to acquire the Phantom Formation. The Phantom Formation will run in Vic formation and then execute 2 leaves of lazy 8 maneuver and then set up for a bomb bust overhead this arena. Right now, the Super Tucano is running in Vic formation and are now performing the lazy 8 maneuver in same formation. The formation, in the lead aircraft, we have Squadron Leader Nana Peter, also known as Viper, and the number 2 aircraft is being flown by Squadron Leader Festus Oga, call sign Sparrow, while the number 3 aircraft is flown by Squadron Leader Ibrahim Goni, call sign Warrior. The Super Tucano aircraft was inducted into the Nigerian Air Force in year 2021. The Super Tucano is a light attack aircraft manufactured by Sierra Nevada Corporation, United States of America, in partnership with Embraer Defense and Security Company of Brazil. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the beautiful display by the Phantoms. The aircraft has performed exceptionally in combat operations across the various theaters to ensure the security of our dear nation. Ladies and gentlemen, please cast your attention to your 11 o'clock high to acquire the Phantoms. The Phantoms have now completed the lazy 8 maneuver of the first leave and are now commencing the second leave of the lazy 8 maneuver. The maneuver derives its name from the manner in which the extended longitudinal axis of the airplane's information are made to trace a flight pattern in the form of a figure 8 lying on the side. The objective of the lazy 8 is to develop the pilot's feel for varying control forces and the ability to plan and remain oriented while maneuvering with positive and accurate control. The maneuver is used to develop and demonstrate the pilot's mastery of the airplane in maximum performance flight conditions. Ladies and gentlemen, the Phantom Formation have now completed the lazy 8 and are now setting up for a bomb bust. The A-29 aircraft is a reliable and cost-effective solution for basic and advanced flight and combat training, close air support operations, and counterinsurgency scenarios. The A-29 Super Tucano has been actively engaged in various Nigerian Air Force operations, such as Operations Hardin Kai in the northeast, Operation Hadarin Daji in the northwest, and Operation Delta Safe in the south-south. The last maneuver is the bomb bust. The graceful execution of the bomb bust is a maneuver in which the formation is split in salutation to the special guest of honor. Ladies and gentlemen, stand by for the bomb bust. Bomb bust, bomb bust, bomb bust. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for that phantomic display there. Coming next to the Phantom Formation is the Cobra Formation, which comprises of 3 L-39ZA aircraft. Ladies and gentlemen, please cast your attention to your 11, 12 o'clock position to acquire the Cobras. The Cobra Formation will also run in big formation, perform a lazy 8 maneuver, reform to close rail formation to perform another lazy 8, and thereafter reformed to Vic to do a bombers in green, white, green smoke. Performing the display today are in the lead aircraft is Wing Commander A.M. Onalaja, call sign Lalas, and Flight Lieutenant J. Edem, call sign Sequence. In the number 2 aircraft is Squadron Leader J. Apiebu, call sign Night, and Flight Lieutenant T.O. Ojo, call sign Venom. The current formation is now running in Vic formation with a green, white, green smoke to signify the national colors. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for this grand entry with our national colors. While in the number 3 aircraft is Squadron Leader T.C. Ogwena, call sign The Head, and Flight Lieutenant C. Obiahu, call sign Chief. Also, we have Flight Lieutenant A.O. Raji as reserved crew. Ladies and gentlemen, the Cobras are now conducting the second leave of the Lazy 8 maneuver. As I said earlier, the Lazy 8 maneuver is a maneuver in which the formation is made to trace a flight pattern in the form of a figure 8. The aircraft was recently upgraded from its initial analog system to a full glass cockpit. The upgrade includes the installation of multifunction displays and a heads-up display that provides more accurate indications and foster easier and safer transition to a more advanced system. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Cobra display. The Cobras have now completed the first Lazy 8 in Vic and are now reforming to close trail. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for that wonderful display. Ladies and gentlemen, it is worthy to state here that notable personalities that have flown the L-39ZA include Air Vice Marshal Edie Lubo, Air Vice Marshal Precious Amadi, and Air Officer Commanding, Air Training Command, Air Vice Marshal Nnamdi Ananaba. We also cannot forget the mentorship of our very senior retired officers who were instructors on the L-39ZA in person of Air Vice Marshal L.T. Dambaki and Air Vice Marshal Agungu, amongst others. Ladies and gentlemen, please cast your attention to your 11 o'clock high to acquire the Cobras. Please put your hands together for that beautiful display by the Cobras. Right now, the Cobras are completing the Lazy 8 in close trail. Rather than flying side by side, the aircraft will be in a line formation as you earlier saw. Ladies and gentlemen, the Cobras have now reformed to the Vic formation to set up for a bombers. The bombers is the formation split in salutation to the special guest of honor. Ladies and gentlemen, please cast your attention to your 1 o'clock position to acquire the Cobras as they set up for their last maneuver, which is the bombers. Please put your hands together for the Cobras. It is also worthy to note that as the Cobras displays their bombers, they will be doing so in our national colors. Ladies and gentlemen, please cast your attention to your 12 o'clock. There was a beautiful bombers by the Cobras. Please put your hands together for the Cobra formation. The special guest of honor, sir, distinguished invited guests, I will now hand over the microphone to Flight Lieutenant Oluwadamilola Olayinka Oke to continue with the rest of the area displays.
Thank you very much, sir. Guest of honor, sir, distinguished invited guest. I am Flight Lieutenant Oluwadamilola Olayinka Oke, and I shall be your anchor for the rest of the aerial display. Next is the aggressor formation. The guest of honor, sir, if you cast your attention to your 11 or 12 o'clock position, you will be able to acquire the aggressor formation. The aggressor formation comprises of 3 Alpha jets. It will be running in Vic formation. Thereafter, they'll be performing a lazy 8 maneuver, and then reform to a close trail to perform another lazy 8 maneuver, and then finally a bomb bust over the arena. If you cast your attention to your 11 o'clock low, you will acquire the aggressive formation as they are running in Vic formation. In the lead aircraft, we have Wing Commander M. Yusuf, call sign NACO, the unit commander of 407 Air Combat Training Group Kainji, and Flying Officer Bagajia, call sign Sky Hunter. The second aircraft is flown by Flight Lieutenant A.G. Alilu, call sign Dodo, and Flight Lieutenant O. Jetta Ogbole, call sign Gustavo, while in the third aircraft is flown by Flight Lieutenant A.K. Galadanchi, call sign Beast, and Flight Lieutenant Y.S. Ahmed, call sign Slide. These pilots operate out of 103 Strike Group, Yola, and are currently participating in Operation Adinkai and Operation Adarindaji in the northeast and northwestern part of Nigeria. A round of applause for the aggressive formation. Now the aggressive formation is now executing the second leave of their lazy 8 maneuver in Vic formation. The Alpha jet was manufactured in 1978 and was inducted into the Nigerian Air Force in 1982, making it the oldest aircraft performing today. Despite its age, the aircraft has remained the queen of the Nigerian Air Force fleet. The Alpha jet is an advanced trainer and light attack aircraft. Since its induction into the Nigerian Air Force, the Alpha jet has trained over 25 tactical fighter courses and 60 combat-ready pilots for the Nigerian Air Force. Our special guest of honor, sir, if you look to your 12 o'clock high, you acquire the aggressive formation as they are reforming to a close trail to perform a lazy 8 maneuver. Rather than flying side by side, the aircraft will be in a line formation. This formation allows for greater maneuverability, but still requires maximum focus of the crew. Formation flying in close trail is also used to evade the adversary's radar because the formation will be seen as a single ship aircraft and thereby achieving an element of surprise over enemy forces. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, being the oldest aircraft in the Nigerian Air Force, it has an exceptional pedigree of retired very senior officers who have also flown this rugged machine in defense of our dear nation. Notable among these personalities include the immediate past Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Oladayo Amawo, Air Vice Marshal O.A. Idewu, Air Vice Marshal C.N. Chukwu, Air Vice Marshal A. Iya, Air Vice Marshal E. Anebi, and late Air Commodore P.A. Imaji, amongst others. A round of applause for the aggressive formation as they are now completing their second leave of the lazy 8 maneuver to transition back into Vic formation. A round of applause for that beautiful execution of reforming back to Vic position by the aggressor formation. Our special guest of honor, sir, an esteemed guest, the aggressor formation is now setting up for the bomb bust in salutation of our special guest of honor. If you look to your 12 o'clock low, you acquire the aggressor formation as they will be running in to salute, which will be a formation split in salutation of our special guest of honor. The aggressor formation is now ready for the formation split in salutation of our special guest of honor. Stand by bombers. Bombers, bombers, bombers. Start right there with a beautiful roll by the aggressor lead. A round of applause for the aggressor formation as they exit the arena. Next aircraft is the F7N9 with the call sign Tiger. It is a single-seat aircraft powered by a single turbojet engine with afterburner. The aircraft was manufactured by Katik and was inducted into the Nigerian Air Force in November 1986. The aircraft is piloted today by scholar leader Ayuba. Call sign Supersonic Trick. If you cast your attention to your 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock low, you would acquire the Tiger. Distinguished guests, please cast your attention to your 12 o'clock to acquire the Tiger as it executes an aileron roll, then transition into an inverted low pass. May I also crave your indulgence not to panic at the Tiger's roar. A round of applause for the Tiger as he executes that wonderful roll right there. As double as safety rep and reserve crew, we have scholar leader YY Ambi and flight J.O. Opani. Our special guest of honor, sir. The Tiger just executed an aileron roll in salutation to you, sir. Notable dexterous personalities on the F-7 aircraft include Air Vice Marshal Precious Amadi, and not forgetting the mentorship of our own very retired senior officers, such as Air Vice Marshal Iya, Air Vice Marshal J.M. Kwani, Air Vice Marshal J.K. Baba, just to mention a few. If you cast your attention to your 12 o'clock position, you would acquire the Tiger, as he's now running in to perform an inverted low pass. Now the pilot is building the sustained negative G's in this condition as he rolls out and pulls up in a climb. A round of applause for the Tiger. The F-7 is a supersonic fighter interceptor aircraft with the primary role of defending the territorial airspace of Nigeria. Since its induction into the Nigerian Air Force in the year 2010, it has played a vital role in defending the nation's airspace. The aircraft is one of the main frontline air defense platforms of the Nigerian Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for this agile interceptor of your beloved Nigerian Air Force. If you cast your attention to your 12 o'clock low, you acquire Tiger. It runs in for a hard 360-degree pass. The ability to turn with a small radius is used to evade hostile fire or gain a position of advantage behind adversary's aircraft in air-to-air combat. Aside from his role as an interceptor, the F-7 is also capable of attacking ground targets, undertaking close air support, armed reconnaissance, combat air patrol, air escort, and maritime support missions. If you cast your attention to your 11 o'clock low, you would acquire the Tiger, as he's now setting up to conduct a vertical zoom climb as he exits this arena. Now approaching the arena is the Tiger. A round of applause for that wonderful vertical zoom climb right there. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the Tiger's display. Next is the JF-17 with the call sign Thunder. JF-17, otherwise known as Guardian of the Skies, is the first line of defense. The Thunder formation is now running in a two-ship formation. They will be executing one leave of the Lazy 8 maneuver, and then thereafter transition to a 360-degree turn, and then perform a bomb burst overhead this arena. The pilots flying the aircraft today are Wing Commander A.A. Odunola with call sign Summer, and Wing Commander A.S. Abatuba with call sign Easy. A round of applause for the Thunder formation. DA-17 is one of the most recently acquired aircraft in Nigerian Air Force inventory. The aircraft is a 4.5 generation supersonic multi-role fighter aircraft possessing excellent air-to-air and air-to-surface capabilities. It has a state-of-the-art avionics with optimally integrated subsystem, computerized flight controls, and capability to employ latest weapons. This all-weather day and night capable aircraft is highly maneuverable both at medium and low levels. Guest of honor, sir, if you cast your attention to your 12 o'clock, you would acquire the DA-17 aircraft Thunder formation as they will be positioned to perform a hard 360-degree turn. Our special guest of honor, sir, you cast your attention to your 12 o'clock. You would acquire the Thunder formation, now running in to execute the hard 360-degree turn. During the turn, the aircraft will be changing direction at the fastest possible rate with the smallest possible radius. During combat, this ability to turn within a small radius is used to evade hostile fire and can be the difference between survival and being shot down. The JF-17 is also referred to as Thunder, as I've rightly stated, and the name is as a result of the thunderous sound created by the engine of the aircraft.
Thunder, feel the thunder, lightning and the thunder, 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 feel the thunder, lightning and the thunder, 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 feel the thunder, lightning and the thunder, 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 feel the thunder.
Our esteemed guest, a special guest of honor, the Thunder formation will be executing another 360-degree turn. And as I earlier stated, during this turn, the aircraft will be changing direction at the fastest possible rate with the smallest possible radius. A round of applause for that beautiful display right there by the Thunder formation. Our special guest of honor, sir, an esteemed guest, if you cast your attention to your 12 o'clock, you will acquire the Thunder formation as they will be running in and setting up for a bomb bust. The bomb bust maneuver is a formation split in salutation of our special guest of honor. Our special guest of honor, sir, just to your 12 o'clock is the Thunder formation running in to execute bomb bust. Bomb bust, bomb bust, bomb bust. A round of applause for the Thunder formation for that formation split. After this maneuver, the two ship will transition to a single ship for a solo display. Thunder will be executing an afterburner pass, then a wing rock in salutation of our special guest of honor, thereafter an aileron roll as he exits. guest of honor, sir, if you cast your attention to your 11 o'clock low, you will be able to acquire the thunder as it runs in to execute its single ship display.
They say you're basic, they say you're easy. You're always riding in the backseat. Now I'm smiling from the stage while you were clapping in the nosebleeds.
The JF-17 can undertake precision strikes with laser-guided bombs, rockets, as well as smart munition kits. The aircraft is capable of undertaking close air support, armed reconnaissance, combat air patrol, air escort, and maritime support missions. If you look to your 11 o'clock low, you acquire the thunder as it runs in to execute its single ship display. It's now executing an afterburner pass, and as you can see, the red hot flames at the tail of the aircraft as a result of the afterburners, which act to increase the thrust of the aircraft and allow the aircraft to generate a very high rate of climb. The aircraft is capable of achieving speed of up to Mach 1.6, which means it can fly over 1.5 times faster than the speed of sound. Our special guest of honor, sir, if you cast your attention to your 11 o'clock low, you would acquire the thunder as it runs in to execute its low pass. Since its inception, the aircraft has flown extensively in Nigeria and continues to ensure peace and security of our dear nation. The Thunder is now executing a vertical zoom-out climb, which is also a salutation to our distinguished guest of honor. May I humbly request that we give a round of applause for that thunderous display by the Thunder Rider keeping guard of our airspace. Next aircraft on display is a two-ship formation comprising of one L-39ZA aircraft with the call sign Cobra and one Alpha Jet aircraft with the call sign Aggressor. Special guest of honor, sir, and distinguished invited guest, please cast your attention to your 1 o'clock low position to acquire this formation aircraft. This two-ship formation is a dissimilar formation as it comprises of one Cobra and one Aggressor. The formation is now running in to execute a tactical break over runway 23. That's right, there was a beautiful roll by the Aggressor. The tactical break is carried out in hostile environment to ensure the fastest and safest form of landing. After the tactical break, the first aircraft to land is the Cobra, which is being piloted by Wing Commander A.M. Onolaja, call sign Lalas. Second aircraft is the Aggressor, being piloted by Flight Lieutenant A.K. Galadanchi, call sign Beast. These two pilots are recipients of awards today. A round of applause for the Cobra as it touches down. Cobra, and is worthy to state that the Cobra's home base is the 403 Flying Training School, Kano, also known as home of the Cobras. I identify with this elite group as my humble self flew the L39Z aircraft, call sign Pink Cobra. The primary call sign associated with the L39Z aircraft in Nigerian Air Force is Cobra, as highly stated. Other call signs include Delta, Cheetah, Fox, and Phoenix. The aircraft has been involved in various operations across Nigeria. Just to mention a few, Operation Lafia Dole, Adinkai, Adarindaji, amongst others. Our special guest of honor, sir, and esteemed guest, the second aircraft taxiing in is the Aggressor. The aircraft's open base is the 407 Air Training Combat Group KNG, also known as home of the Eagles. The primary call sign associated with the Alpha Jet in the Nigerian Air Force is Eagle. Other call signs include Aggressor, Gunsmoke, Red Cat, and Griffin. The Alpha Jet has participated in several operations both home and abroad, including Operation Restore Democracy in Gambia, Sierra Leone Civil War, Northern Mali War, conflict in the Niger Delta, just to mention a few. With that spectacular display, we have come to the end of the Nigerian Air Force aerial display for the year 2024. Another round of applause to all aircraft that are displayed here today with an excellent show of airmanship. The special guest of honor, sir, I will now hand over the microphone to Squadron Leader M.I. Awomoku to please continue with the parade proceedings. Squadron Leader Awomoku, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Squadron Leader I.J. Dozier and Flight Lieutenant O.O.O.K. for that detailed fly pass display commentary.
At this juncture, may I recognize the presence of the Executive Governor of Taraba State, who is also a member of 42 regular course of the Nigerian Defense Academy, His Excellency Lieutenant Colonel Abu Kepas, retired. Also here with us is Honorable Air Vice Marshal Rufus Ojuawo, retired, who was one of the foremost instructor pilots on the Alpha Jet and L-39 aircraft. Also here with us to grace the occasion are the former chief of the Air Staff. We have Air Marshal Al-Amin Dagash, who was also the former Chief of Defense Staff. You are welcome, sir. We have Air Vice Marshal Femi John Femi, retired. You are welcome, sir. We have Air Marshal M.D. Umar, retired. We also have Air Marshal S.B. Abubakar, retired, and Air Marshal I.O. Amao, retired. You are highly welcome, sir.
The special guest of honor, sir. Any moment from now, the parade will advance in review order. This is to bring the parade closer to the saluting dice for the special guest of honor's remarks. Our distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, before the special guest of honors remarks, there will be presentation of awards, and thereafter the special guest of honors remarks. The awards will be given to the officers and airmen that distinguish themselves in discipline and character. The officers and airmen also exhibited the art of bravery and sacrifice in their duties and military operations to the service as well as to the armed forces of Nigeria in general. May I now request the table carriers to please bring forward the table for the presentation. Our distinguished guests, the table carriers are Aircraftman Okelade A and Aircraftman Omotosho OO. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I will now call on the award recipients, Wing Commander A.M. Onalaja, Flight Lieutenant A.K. Galadachi, and Master Warrant Officer Salifu A. to please step forward for the award presentation. The awardees, please. Oh, this one. The special guest of honor, our distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to give you a brief citation of the awardees. First, to receive the award is Wing Commander A.A. Onalaja. Wing Commander Adedamola Michael Onalaja is a seasoned fighter pilot and qualified flight instructor with over 3,000 flying hours, comprising of both instructional and combat hours. The senior officer flown different aircraft types, some of which include AB-218, T-6A Texan 2, T-36 Talon, Chengdu FT-7NI, F-7NI Air Guard, L-39ZA Albatross, and L-39C Albatross aircraft. He has been an instructor pilot on the L-39ZA Albatross aircraft for over 12 years. The senior officer has exhibited exceptional commitment and a high level of proficiency in the execution of assigned tasks. He has participated actively in the training of pilots and conducted numerous flying courses, such as instructor pilot courses 5 and 6. Also, he was key to the training of pilots of basic flying courses 16 to 21. Others are jet training courses 2 and 3 from 2013 till date. Additionally, the senior officer initiated the review of several flying manuals in the unit, as well as the development of modern visual aids that has significantly enhanced flying training. He is currently the commander, 403 Flying School, Kano. The outstanding performances in assigned tasks, commitment to duty, proficiency, and sterling leadership qualities informed the recommendation and selection of Wing Commander Onalaja for the Proficiency Award. Your Excellency, sir, please permit me to add that Wing Commander Onalaja was the lead of the corporal formation in the area displayed we just witnessed a few moments ago. Please a round of applause for Wing Commander Onalaja. Next is Flight Lieutenant A.K. Galandachi for Gallantry Award. Flight Lieutenant Ahmed Kabir Galandachi is the command pilot on Alpha Jet aircraft. He has flown a total of 2,100 hours, of which about 1,500 hours was flown in combat. In recent times, Ahmed has displayed remarkable bravery in carrying out missions that resulted in outstanding accomplishments for the Nigerian Air Force. His involvement in several air interdiction and close air support missions continue to contribute significantly to the successes recorded in the ongoing internal security operations in the country. His unparalleled commitment and dedication to duties are evident in numerous challenging tasks where he exhibited courage, gallantry, professionalism, and bravery, which led to the exceptional results. Flight Lieutenant Ahmed has been actively serving for over 6 years in different theaters of operation and has faced multiple challenging situations that tested his resilience. Notably, during a mission, his aircraft encountered an in-flight emergency while engaging adversaries, but he safely recovered the aircraft back to base. He displayed high sense of professionalism and skillfully handled the situation, thus preventing the loss of the aircraft. The several gallant and courageous acts in the face of adversaries, among others, are the reason why Flight Lieutenant Galandachi is receiving the Gallantry Award today. Please permit me to also add that Flight Lieutenant Galandachi was the #2 wingman of the aggressor formation in the area display we just witnessed a few moments ago. A round of applause for Flight Lieutenant Galandachi.
And finally, to receive award this afternoon is NAF 92/17806. Master Warrant Officer Salifu Abdul. Master Warrant Officer Salifu was recruited into the Nigerian Air Force on the 17th August 1992. He's a type rated on the various combat aircraft types. He has completed a range of courses, including the aircraft test system in China, safety maintenance system course in Kaduna, and quality assurance course, as well as weapon trade 3 course in Pakistan. Master Warrant Officer Salifu is passionate on research. One of his major projects is the research that led to the modification of the power supply converter for maintenance of ejection seat. The power supply converter is originally designed to be shipped back to the manufacturer's facility after every 2 years for calibration. The frequent shipments of the power supply converter in and out of the country impacted negatively on operation. Thus, the modification helps to address the challenge on depending on the manufacturer for frequent calibration abroad. This is in line with one of the key enablers of the Chief of the Air Staff command philosophy that prioritize research and development by leveraging cutting-edge technology. Salifu's active participation in this crucial project, among other result-oriented research and development projects, warranted his nomination and selection for the Air Force Research and Development Award. Please shall we give a round of applause for the airman.
May I humbly request the Chief of the Air Staff to please invite the special guest of honor for the award presentation. The Chief of the Air Staff, sir. First to receive is Wing Commander A.M. Analaja. Please a round of applause for Wing Commander A.M. Analaja once again. Next to receive is Flight Lieutenant A.K. Galandachi. A round of applause for Flight Lieutenant A.K. Galandachi. And the last but not the least to receive is Master Warrant Officer Salifu A. round of applause for Master Warrant Officer Salifu A. Thank you. Also, the Chief of the Air Staff would like to make a token presentation to our special guest of honor. The Chief of the Air Staff, sir. Please, a round of applause for the special guest of honor. May I humbly request the Chief of the Air Staff to please invite the special guest of honor to take his seat. The Chief of the Air Staff, sir. That will be all for the award presentation. A round of applause for the awardees. The special guest of honor, sir, very senior officers, our distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, we will now have the honor and privilege of listening to the address from the special guest of honor, the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, ably represented by the Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, Kashim Shettima, Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Taraba State, retired Lieutenant Colonel Agbu Kefas, the former President of the Senate and Chairman Senate Committee on Defense, distinguished Senator Ahmad Ibrahim Lawan, the Chairman House Committee on Air Force, Right Honorable Kabiru Al-Hassan Rurum, the Honorable Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badru Abubakar, the Honorable Minister of State Defense, Bello Matoli, our Chief Host, the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Baba Abubakar, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, His Royal Highness, the Emir of Zazzau, Ambassador Ahmed Nuhu Bamali, former Service Chiefs present, members of the Diplomatic Corps, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. 6 years is quite a lifetime in the making of an institution, and yours has been a template for building a culture of capacity, sacrifice, and patriotism. The Nigerian Air Force stands as a testament to prestige, and so I am pleased to join you on this occasion of your 60th anniversary. I bear with me today the gratitude of a nation that has watched your transformation into a formidable and resilient organization, vigilant of the dynamics and complexities of security threats within and outside our borders for this long. Beyond being a stabilizing force in the nation's quest for order, The Nigerian Air Force has made a significant mark on the international scene in our pursuit of regional and sub-regional peace and security. This achievement fills us with a sense of pride and optimism in our projections of your capabilities and belief in your contribution to protecting lives and property through the employment of air power. Therefore, I congratulate the Chief of the Air Staff, officers, airmen, airwomen, and civilian staff of the Nigerian Air Force for sustaining this culture of service on the occasion of this Diamond Jubilee anniversary. This tradition of parades and air shows is not only a demonstration of your professional capabilities and combat readiness, but also an avenue to underline our commitment to civil-military relations. The quality of your aerial displays and parades, which you have preserved over the decades, attests to your dedication to duty. We shall always celebrate the excellence of your officers, airmen and airwomen who have kept their promise to be distinguished models in and out of their khakis. Our promise to prioritize the welfare of our armed forces has remained unshaken. We stand with you in your times of need. We stand with you in your times of triumphs. We also stand with you in your times of grief. This isn't to repay you for your sacrifices for the nation, but to assure you that we will always be there for you. Even in my inaugural address a year ago, I noted that security will be the top priority of my administration because we can never guarantee the development we have proposed unless each part of this great nation is secure. This is why we have continued to support the modernization efforts of our armed forces to address national and sub-regional security challenges. The Nigerian Air Force is an institution built on advanced technological assets, and that a cause that should never be too much for any ambitious nation. We have made substantial investments in procuring state-of-the-art multi-role combat aircraft and attack helicopters, as well as sensors and equipment that will significantly enhance its capabilities. Some of these include Beechcraft King Air 360 aircraft, Diamond 62 surveillance aircraft, T-129 attack helicopters, Augusta 109 Tracker multi-role helicopters, and M46 attack aircraft to boost our combat and airlift capabilities. A few of these platforms have arrived in the country, while others will be coming in shortly. The best way to understand the security challenges we face today is to adopt a whole-of-society approach. This provides us with a broad view of some of the root causes of the compromises in our drive for a safe nation, especially socio-economic factors such as poverty, unemployment, infrastructure deficits, and inadequate basic education. While our economic policies may have caused some discomfort for the citizenry, we are confident that this temporary sacrifice will come to an end soon, and the country will be on the sound economic footing we have promised the nation. I also want to use this historic moment to acknowledge the presence of the few surviving members of the first set of pioneer NAF personnel here with us. While we acknowledge the dedication and sacrifices of our men and women in uniform, we salute your unparalleled bravery, commitment, and service to the nation. We also pay tribute to our veterans and fallen comrades for their contributions and sacrifices. As a government, we sincerely appreciate your service and are ready to do everything possible to continue supporting you in the discharge of your constitutional responsibilities. Aligned with the theme of today's celebration, Nigerian Air Force at 60, leveraging strategic partnership in aerospace innovations for regional security. I am delighted to note the active participation of various partners and air forces from around the world, particularly from Africa. As time progresses and innovations emerge, nations grow closer. Our response to these changes should not be fear of security compromises, but rather a commitment to collaboration and the development of partnerships with friends and allies in the sub-region and beyond to collectively address our shared threats. On this note, once again, I want to thank you all for gracing this special occasion and wish the Nigerian Air Force a happy 60th anniversary. Long live the Nigerian Air Force and long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
May we please give the special guest of honor, the reviewing officer, a resounding round of applause for that well-articulated speech. Please shall we all rise for the national anthem. Thank you. Distinguished guests, you may please be seated. May I also announce that the dignitaries that arrive with the Air Peace aircraft, you are please requested to join the Air Peace aircraft back to Abuja immediately after this ceremony. Thank you.
The special guest of honor, sir, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, as we mark the 60th anniversary of the Nigerian Air Force, it is with profound gratitude and pride that we reflect our own journey of service, sacrifice, and achievement. For 6 decades, the Nigerian Air Force has been at the forefront of defending our nation's sovereignty, protecting our citizens, and projecting air power with unmatched professionalism and dedication. This milestone anniversary is a testament to the unwavering commitment and sacrifices of generations of airmen and airwomen who have served with valor and distinction. At the moment, we can see the parade commander, squadron leader VC Njoku, obtaining permission from the special guest of honor to continue with the rest of the parade. The Nigerian Air Force is achieving its milestone anniversary, which is a testament to the unwavering commitment and sacrifices of generations of airmen and airwomen who have served with valor and distinctions. This bravery, resilience, and unwavering dedication to duty have been the bedrock of our Air Force's success and have earned the respect and admiration of our nation and the world. At this juncture, the Nigerian Air Force, on behalf of officers, airmen, airwomen, and civilian staff, wish to extend its profound gratitude to the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces,
May I
Please.
humbly request this distinguished audience that as the callers march towards the location where you are seated, you are please expected to rise. All officers and warrant officers in uniform are to salute. Thank you. Our distinguished guests, you may please be seated. Our distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a group photograph with the special guest of honor and some invited guests for the photo session. Only guests whose names are called are to participate for the group photograph. The group photograph will be conducted in 3 segments. For the first segment, it shall be the special guest of honor, the Honorable Minister of Defense, the Honorable Minister of Defense, the Honorable Minister of Defense, the Honorable Minister of State for Defense, service chiefs, members of National Assembly here present, and the former chiefs. The second segment will be with the special guest of honor, the service chiefs, the foreign service chiefs, and their delegation. The third segment will be with the special guest of honor, the service chiefs, and the foreign exhibitors. Also to join for the talks segment for the group photograph with the special guest of honor are the royal fathers in our midst. Thank you. also announce that the pilots who participated for the fly pass are to join for the group photograph, as well as the award recipients. Thank you.
At the moment, the special guest of honor, being led by the Chief of the Air Staff, is proceeding to the photo stand for the group photograph.
To join the special guest of honor for the first segment, the Honorable Minister of Defense, the Honorable Minister of State for Defense, the service chiefs, members of National Assembly, and the former Chief of the Air Staff. For the second segment, you have the service chiefs, the foreign service chiefs, and chiefs, as well as their delegation. For the third segment, we have the special guest of honor, service chiefs, foreign exhibitors, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Defense, the pilots, and the award recipients. Thank you. May I also add that only those whose names are called to participate in the group photograph are please requested to proceed to avoid the venue of the photo session being congested. Thank you. Our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as we are gradually winding down this noble and memorable occasion, we would like to say a big thank you to everyone who has graced this occasion. It has been a wonderful day with your presence, and we want to wish you all a safe journey when you leave to your various destinations. I am Squadron Leader M.I. Awomuku. With me is Flight Lieutenant I.A. Garuba. God bless.